Chris Godinez, licensed professional counselor, also the host of We Need to Talk on every Sunday at noon, and then I post these videos up during the week into social media and all that sort of fun stuff. This video is for educational and informational purposes only. The views and opinions stated herein are mine and mine alone. They do not represent the ACA, the APA, or any other therapist for that matter. Boom shakalaka done. I'd like to thank my sponsor, BetterHelp. BetterHelp. BetterHelp.com/Chris Godinez. They're an online therapy company. They are international. All you got to do is go on, fill out a questionnaire. They will place you with a licensed professional, master's level or PhD level in your area or that can do international. They have over 40,000 therapists working with them. So thank you, BetterHelp.com/Chris Godinez. Okay, question. How can we deal with people or friends that invalidate our past traumas? Well, the short answer to that is kick them to the curb. Seriously. If somebody is unwilling to believe your trauma, I mean, here's the thing. You can try to educate them. You can. You absolutely can be like, oh, no. So here's the thing. I had my trauma invalidated by my sister. That was hard. So if you've read my book, What's Wrong with Your Dad, available on Amazon, there's that part where I basically chewed her a new one because it was like, you don't get to tell me what happened. I know what happened. I was there, So when somebody invalidates your past trauma, you basically are going to have to stand your ground, and you're going to have to be really firm and be like, you don't get to tell me what happened. I know what happened. If I say I'm traumatized, then I am traumatized. You know what I'm saying? So seriously, it's just, I'm so over people who are either flying monkeys or who are not working on their own issues that they invalidate what's happening to another person. So basically with my sister, what I did is I just stood up to her and I said, no, you don't get to tell me what happened. I was there. He did that. You're going to have to deal with it. I'm telling you this because you're my sister, and I know he did stuff with you too. And of course she freaked out, but she didn't want to deal with it at the time, and who can blame her? So, but you stand your ground. And she came back and apologized after a few years after that. She realized he was not a good person because she went through the whole, and this is something I'm going to talk about on Sunday, when an abuser dies, the people who were abused by them, if they have not worked on their inner child, if they have not worked on the trauma, if they have not worked on the self-esteem, if they have not worked on everything, boundaries, the whole thing, have a tendency to suddenly make the abuser saint whoever of the perpetually perfect parents. And the answer is no, they were not. They were abusive. You don't do that to kids. Thanks for playing. Do you see where I'm going with that? So, it's basically standing your ground. When somebody invalidates your trauma, they're trying to rewrite history. Something you want to pay attention to, because I'll give you 3 guesses and the first 2 don't count. Who rewrites history? That would be narcissists, psychopaths, narcissists, you bet. They rewrite history for their own gain or for their own comfort level. So I would seriously stand your ground. You try to educate them. You don't get to tell me what I experienced. I was there. I know what I experienced. This is real. You don't have to like it, but you do not get to tell me what happened to me. Or you do not get to invalidate how I feel about what happened to me. That is something that I see a lot in narcissistic families, is that because the abuser, usually the parent, invalidates all the time, tells the kid all the time, no, you don't want that. No, you don't know what you're feeling. No, you don't. No, you can't feel that. No, is that the siblings also adopt those fleas that gotta be squished. Squishy fleas. Squished to fleas. So that flea is, as soon as something uncomfortable is discussed or happens or is mentioned or whatever, then the kids, even the adult kids, start immediately going, no, that's not what happened. No, you don't feel that way. Do you see where I'm going with that? So you're going to have to be gentle but firm, or maybe not so gentle, just firm. Just be firm. You don't need to be gentle. I mean, if you can be gentle, that's great. But if you cannot, if they're like being stupid about it, then you can just be like, look, mother clucker, here's the deal. and you lay it out. And then either one of two things will happen. Either they will have a come to Jesus moment and figure it the bleep out, or they will continue down the path of denial and want to keep trying to tell you that you don't know what you're talking about, or that you didn't feel what you were feeling, or that never happened, or whatever. So yeah, and it's a form of gaslighting. It is. It's rewriting history. It's like that never happened, and it's because of their discomfort, not because of you. So just recognize you're dealing with an adult child of a narcissist who is in denial, or who is gaslighting, or who has fleas, or who has not worked on their stuff, or fill in the blank. But basically, nobody gets to tell you what you felt about that. Nobody gets to march in and go, oh no, Chris, you don't, that never happened to you. That you don't feel that way about your dad. Oh, hell yeah, I do. I'm glad the son of a bitch is dead. I am. There is not a day that goes by that I don't go, whoop, whoop, good. I don't have to deal with him. You know what I'm saying? I mean, seriously. It's like, okay, seriously, I don't think about him every day. But the point I'm trying to make is I'm not sad he's gone. Now, do I miss my mom? You betcha. I miss my mom. I miss my grandmother, Momo. She was awesome. But do I miss him? No. You know why? Because my experience of him, and actually most of the healthy families' experience of him, was one of terror, okay? He terrorized us. You never knew when you were going to get hit or sexually molested or harmed or hurt or yelled at or told you were stupid or whatever. And my experience of that was, it was like living under a cloud. It's like when I think of my family home, I think of it with a black cloud over it, and you just never knew when that cloud was going to burst. And so it was that anticipation of, when is the next hit coming? When is the next yelling coming? So it was terror. It was absolute terror. And it was abusive, So when somebody tries to tell you, oh no, you didn't feel terrorized. Oh no, that never happened, gaslighting. That's when you dig in your heels and you go, yes, it did. You weren't there. You don't get to tell me what I know that I know, because I know. And when you do that, they generally back way the hell off, because they realize you're not going to be manipulated. It is a form of manipulation. Absolutely. So invalidating somebody's experience is a way to make them feel comfortable, because it's uncomfortable. Discussing abuse is uncomfortable. Let's be clear. When I first started this channel, I got hit with so many trolls and so many jackwagons, disordered, that didn't want me to educate people, that didn't want me to talk about it, that didn't want me to be firm in my boundaries, because it made them uncomfortable. Guess what? There's a clicker. Click and change the channel. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing with people in person. If they are unwilling to allow you to have whatever emotion you had about your abuse, if they're trying to go, oh, it wasn't that bad, or oh, that never happened, or oh, you can't feel that way about your family, you need to stay in touch with them. Oh, screw that noise. No, you don't. If the family of origin is abusive, again, here is the big question. If you were not related to these people, would you have anything to do with them? If the answer is no, act accordingly. You are within your rights as a human being to not have contact with somebody that is constantly throwing poison at you. You don't need to be around that. It's very hard to heal if you're in the environment that made you sick in the first place. Do you see where I'm going with that? So yeah, you get to hold your ground, you get to stand your ground, you get to state what is true, and then you basically let them know. It's like, if you come at me again and tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about, or that I don't get to feel what I feel about that parent, you know what? You and I are done. Simple as that. Now, that is a terrifying prospect for a lot of survivors of abuse, because we feel like, oh my God, I've lost so much. I don't want to lose everybody else. You might need to. You might need to. Because it's clearing out the dysfunctional, unhealthy people to make room for the healthy people. You want people in your life that believe you, hear you, listen to you, are kind, are validating, somebody who's healthy, somebody who's supportive. That's what you're looking for. So anyway, short answer is you kick them to the curb. Long answer is you give them a chance to pull their foot out of their mouth before you put yours in their hind end. And you basically stand your ground in no uncertain terms. Boundaries like a boss. You see where I'm going with that? So anyway, there is that. So Sunday, we are going to be discussing death, dying, inheritance, wills, material things, how weird they get around death, whether they're the ones dying or whether it's somebody else dying. So I want to talk about funerals and all that sort of good stuff, because you need to know what to expect if you're going to go to a funeral of a family member, not the narcissist, and the narcissist is there. Because remember, they literally ruin anything that's not about them. Weddings, funerals, births, anniversaries, holidays, birthdays, etc. Their behavior is bizarre. So we're going to talk about that, and then you can decide whether or not to go. And we're also going to talk about whether or not to go if it is a family member that was a narcissist, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and abusive and all that sort of fun stuff. And when I say fun, I mean the polar opposite. So I am looking forward to seeing everybody in Charleston on Saturday. That'll be so much fun. Charleston's a beautiful, beautiful little town. So anyway, that's it. And I will talk to you guys on Sunday.